Alright, welcome back YouTubers and Madden fans. This is MADDENMONEYSHOT bringing you another Madden 19 update. EA just released a lot of information about some of the new features on MUT, and I'm going to go over that in today's video. But of course, if you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to stay up to date on all the Madden 19 news as it drops, because I will be doing videos about each and every one that I find. So other than that, we're on EA Sports, their actual website. This is the information that they released. I will try to make sure to put a link in the description below so you guys can check this out yourself if you want to. But bottom line is there's a lot of really interesting changes and updates that they're making in Madden 19, and we're going to go over the article here and try to break down each and every one and what it means to you. Now, the first one that I see, I'm a little bit confused. If you guys understand this better than me, please let me know in the comment section. But the first one I see is what they're trying to address is something that they came up with last year, which was the power-up players that they basically did. If you guys don't know, the power-up players really was a little bit more trouble than it's worth, if you ask me. I didn't continue doing it. After I did one, I realized that it probably wasn't worthwhile because the amount of effort and the amount of coins you had to put into it, it made more sense just to buy a card. Buy a card, like a higher rated card of the same player, and it just seemed to work out better that way. So what they're doing this year is they're kind of removing all the steps, and they're going to try to make it a lot easier and a lot more streamlined, where it sounds to me like you're going to kind of be borrowing from what they do in CFM, where you take a guy into practice. They call it training. I'm going to see if I can find it somewhere in here. It's no longer tokens. Now they have a currency type called training, which that concerns me a little bit too. I'm hoping that when you're doing these training sessions that you're getting coins at the same time. If you're spending all your time in these training sessions trying to pump up one player, I hope it doesn't take away from your ability to earn coins too, to pump up your team, because time is money in this game. Like, if you're putting time into one thing, you're neglecting the other, you're not going to have any coins. You might have like a boss, you know, like whoever they're showing down here, Le'Veon Bell. You might have like a boss Le'Veon Bell, 99 overall Le'Veon Bell, but you're not going to have a good team if you're not getting coins at the same time. So that's one of my concerns. Hopefully you get coins while you get training tokens or training currency, whatever they're calling it. That'd be something that'd be really important to me. But at the very least, if you build up a player and you realize you like somebody else, or say you build up a Le'Veon Bell and then some promo drops and you get like a 95 Ezekiel Elliott. Well, obviously you don't need Le'Veon Bell sitting on your bench, so now you can break him back down, and like I said, you only get a percentage. Another really good improvement, I don't really see too much of a downside on this, but I kind of do. I'll get to that in a minute. But now, no players come out with anything but team chemistries, which I think is amazing. It would be nice if even players that played for different teams, like several different teams, like Terrell Owens, if you could choose which team he played for, but they don't really comment on that. But either way, now you get to choose what chemistry you want every one of your cards to be. If I'm understanding this correctly, hopefully I am. But now there's an open slot for you to choose the chemistry to each individual player. So if your entire team is run heavy or whatever, and you want that pound of rock chemistry of the entire thing, you can now do that, and you don't have to pick players you don't like to complete that. Now I think that is epic. That is exactly the type of thing that the Madden MUT community wants. But there is one slight thing that has me hesitating to call this a home run, and that's the very last comment right here. It's worth noting that not all players will have the same chemistry options, especially when it comes to abilities. Players will need to have a certain overall. So basically that means, in my opinion, that you're going to have to work that dude up to a certain point before you start to unlock the good chemistries. So that's going to definitely stretch you out. You know what I mean? You're not going to come in right away and have the best chemistries that everybody uses. So you're probably going to get the ones that are like really easy to get, like toughness and stuff like that, that really don't help you out too much early on. And you'll have to work your way to get some of the better chemistries unlocked. But it's still a step in the right direction. And they always have to dangle that carrot for you to keep chasing it, to keep playing the game. So I kind of understand. Now here's something I'm really excited about: solo battles. This is a new thing they have right here. It's basically like weekend league for people that don't really play well against other people. They're going to be doing challenges against the computer, kind of like a solo challenge. And I guess the idea is to get it's a full game against the computer, but the idea is to get maybe as many touchdowns as possible. Maybe the highest score, how badly you beat the computer, is going to help you rank in like the top 100 and get rewards for it. So for people that don't play against people, this is something that's really cool. And even for people that do play against people, I ain't gonna lie, if I can get some easy rewards by spanking the computer I can get a couple hundred points on the computer, no problem. So if it'll get me easy coins, I'm probably gonna throw my hat into the circle there and try to get that done every week. Now there is a multiplier based off of the difficulty that you do it on. So if you play on all Madden, obviously you're going to get a much higher multiplier for the results. But if you play on like all pro, you probably have to make up with it with way more points. You know what I'm saying? So if you do it on all Madden, you might have to deal with a lot more cheese. But at the end of the day, the multiplier is going to be that much higher. So it's going to be interesting to see what's the best tactic to get into the top 100 and get prizes. Now, they also brought in something called squad challenges, which before you could only play online games with your friends. Now you can do an offline challenge, kind of like a solo that you would have, you know, by yourself, but you can do this with your friends. So I'm not sure if this is really going to catch on or not. To be real about it, doing solos is kind of a grind. It's hard enough to you to work yourself up to do solos by yourself sometimes. So I don't know if you are ever going to catch your friends at the same time that you all want to do solos together. I really don't know. But at the end of the day, they're trying to introduce more stuff in the MUT squads. They're trying to look at that like a long-term, as you can see at the bottom here, it's a long-term roadmap. They're going to be trying to work this in more and more and more. The other thing about this too is once you beat a challenge, you can keep doing it and keep earning coins in that same challenge over and over and over. So if the rewards are worth it enough, this might be an easy way to really stack up coins. And then last but not least, they did a couple of tweaks to gameplay. As you can see right here, now you're going to have a position open that you can fill on your roster, like a third down back. Well, you had originally third down back. Now you can do rush end, rush defensive tackle, slot cornerback, sub linebacker, power halfback. So instead of manually doing it, you can cycle through during gameplay and introduce those players into your lineup that way, which is pretty cool. So instead of like on a third and long when you want to put a defensive end, a defensive tackle, now you can do that without having to manually do it. So that's kind of cool. It's got 25 slots now. Also, they took away some of the slots for backup players. There's no longer an option for a third quarterback, or they tried to make it, you know, less contracts getting spent. You no longer have a third left tackle, stuff like that. But you still have two fullbacks, interestingly enough, when most people don't even use one in most plays. But that's an option there, so you still have two fullbacks. I don't really understand that. But yeah, I mean, there's, you know, they cut out some of the excess positions so that when you set it to best overall roster, it isn't really wasting contracts. So that's it. If you guys want to see more videos like this, do me a favor, like button. Other than that, thanks for watching Madden Money Shot out. Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below.